Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar is nothing like I expected it to be, and there's a talking crab voiced by Morgan Freeman. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real review, and today we're diving into Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. Thank you so much to Lionsgate for providing me with a screener to view this early last weekend. It was a little bit busy this past weekend, guys. We had To All the Boys 3, Willy's Wonderland, and my WandaVision reaction, so you can find all of those reviews and reactions right at the top of the screen or in the description below. Guys, this movie is unreal. It's directed by Josh Greenbaum and it stars Kristen Wiig, Annie Mumolo, and Jamie Dornan. This is one movie that I had no expectations for, and then I walked out of it, well, not really understanding what I watched. That's both a good thing and a bad thing. Now, before I dive into what I liked about the film, guys, if it's your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I talk about movies early like this all the time. So if you don't want to miss out, go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, and tap on the bell so you don't miss out on reviews and reactions just like this. And guys, smash that like button and get loud in the comments below. Let me know, what did you think of this movie? Did you watch it? Are you going to watch it? And man, Kristen Wiig, dude, she just continues to crush it in these sorts of roles. Alrighty, so let's get into Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. The film surrounds best friends Barb and Star as they embark on the adventure of a lifetime when they decide to leave their small Midwestern town for the first time and then run into spies. I'm not even kidding. Spies. I knew the movie was going to be bonkers in that opening act because we get this boy singing on a bicycle delivering newspapers, and then all of a sudden a tree opens up and it is an elevator to a secret lair. I literally was laughing out loud because I was both in disbelief and I could not believe that they, I guess, went this route, because it did feel like maybe it was going for a more, again, quirky comedy, but it just takes a different direction. And I love that Josh Greenbaum was owning it. He did not decommit from anything. He said, I'm going to put both my feet in and we're going to get weird. And that leads me into the first thing I liked about the film. The absurdity of it all just kept me laughing, and I do think that our leads have amazing chemistry together. Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo really just play off of each other very well. Their comedic timing is excellent, and I love a lot of the gags that are involved in. That's the thing. This movie is supposed to really surprise you, and it did surprise me. And if it wasn't for how over the top some of these scenes were, I don't think the movie would have worked as well. The writing here is pretty consistent for the most part as well. So when we find both of our leads in certain situations, it just makes things so much better for the film, because again, they just don't stray away from what works, and that is raunchy humor at times, vulgar scenes, and then you get into some storytelling with Jamie Dornan. It's very crazy, guys, because his character is a spy and he works with this one character played by Kristen Wiig named Dr. Lady, and they are working to take over the world by using remote controlled death-eating mosquitoes. That's kind of nuts. But what I love most about all of this is that everyone is in on the gag, which makes scenes so much funnier. Now, this film does lean on music to tell some of its jokes, including a musical number featuring Jamie Dornan, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But what I will say is that some of the music here, the lyrics, if you just listen to them, dude, they're pretty hilarious. And this movie does a really good job of using cameos in unique ways. See, I think sometimes cameos can kind of overshadow leads in movies, and this does not happen here. You notice it, but it doesn't really kind of overtake scenes. I loved seeing Dolores from The Office. You'll know her, of course, when you see her. It was really funny to hear Morgan Freeman voicing a certain animal, a crustacean. So that's one scene. When you get there, it's gonna knock your socks off. And then there's another cameo that just made me laugh because I just really don't know what else to expect from this film. So again, it's absurd in the best ways, but then there are some moments in this film that really just don't work for me, guys, and it comes down to that second act. When we get into the middle of the movie, that's when jokes start to become very hit and miss. The film almost begins to run out of steam, and I think that's due in large part to the story not being as layered. Guys, this is an hour 40 movie. I think it's an hour 48, and what I didn't like about that entire second half is that sometimes the running jokes can get a little tiresome, and you can tell the movie's trying to make up for lost ground. I think that you could have trimmed off some of the fat here, maybe given us 20 or 30 minutes less, and if it was a tighter film, I think it would have been even better. There are times where you can tell it was just trying to be too much like Austin Powers, and then we get into this weird explanation of Dr. Lady's past. I don't think we needed all that exposition and all that time spent her having a mysterious past would have worked just fine and saved us from a very monotonous sequence of events. I don't really think they needed to make us grow to like Dr. Lady. They could have just given her to us as a evil henchwoman. Like, that would have been fine. But unfortunately, they gave us backstory. And in a movie like this, it doesn't need to be that serious. And like I said earlier, the music here is funny, but then there are some running jokes that include this piano man that just really are not funny the second time around. He's singing about a certain woman's body part, and the first time was like, oh, this is kind of absurd. And the second time, for me, I thought, okay, this is enough. Like, this is not funny. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm chuckling now because of how crazy it is to say out loud, but that to me was not a funny sequence of events, and I think it was just kind of like toilet humor. Like, it just didn't really vibe for me, and there was much more genuine humor and jokes here that were found in other parts of the film, and that kind of pulled me out of the movie. And what I will say about Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, it's that it won't land for everybody. You'll either love it or you'll hate it. For me, I kind of fall into the I like it category, but for others, I know it's going to be a film where you turn it on, you rent it over the weekend, and you're not going to really either care for it, or you're going to be totally in love with it and you're going to be hurting at your sides. That's the thing about this film. It takes a lot of risks. Sometimes it hits the mark, but then there are other moments where it misses, and I think it misses too often for me to really say that it's more than a 3-star out of 5 type of film. Josh Greenbaum does a good job with making our leads so likable here. Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo are really good, and even Jamie Dornan, he's so funny. But for me, he plays pedestrian one too many times, and I think that this film could have done a lot better again if they just trimmed off some of the fat in this film. So there you have it, you guys. That's my real review of Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, a movie that is absurd. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what I will say is, guys, when you sit down for this film, you're gonna be blown away. Like, there are some jokes in this movie that just blew my mind, in a good way. I would tell you that if you want a comedy that showcases the best of Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo, I say throw this on. This is really going to be a film that panders to the fans of both of these actresses. So guys, I love the fact that they dove in feet first. I just wish it was executed a little better. But hey, I want to know what you guys have to say about the film, so get loud in the comments below and let me know, guys. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel. Tap on that bell so you stay up to date with anything new that drops. We got some major reviews and reactions coming this week. It's going to be so much fun. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.